I went from, let's say, relative obscurity to whatever degree of notoriety I have now fairly suddenly. And it was because I got embroiled in what was purported to be a political scandal, right? So, and it was a discussion about language and about who controls language. And I believe that my government had overreached its purview in the legislation that it described as motivated by compassion. And so I said that. It's like, you can't tell me what I have to say because, well, I have my reasons. I told you what they were. It's like I believe that to the degree that we are who we should be, we're incarnations of Logos. I actually believe that. And so when someone says, you have to say what I want you to say, it's like, no, I don't have to. And not only that, I'm not going to. I don't care what your reasons are. And so, and then of course, because it was that particular issue, which happened to be central to the intense partisan fragmentation of the West, it was central at that point in time. I got tangled up in some sense into the political discourse, and because I objected to this particular piece of legislation, then it was easy for people who might have been motivated to want to do so to say, well, how do I know that you're not, the latest avatar of the far right, for example? And I have some sympathy for that move. It's like, well, why should anyone listen to me? Well, there's 7 billion, 8 billion people. Well, you can't listen to all of them, so mostly what you do is not listen to them. So you're always looking for reasons not to listen to someone. And so that was part of it. That isn't all of it. Yeah. I mean, that's part of it. That's by no means all of it. There's much more to the story than that. So
that's also a good example of the utility of integrating your shadow. I mean, as you were saying, you had come to a point where you wanted to speak exactly what was on your mind, or you were able to speak exactly what was on your mind.
No, I was practicing. I'd been practicing doing that for a very, very long time. And that's part of what accounted for whatever success I had as a lecturer. I started paying attention to how my words made me feel psychologically when I was about 23. I really started to pay attention. And I learned that was worth paying attention to. And I swore that I would strive to say, to not lie, to say what I believe to be the case. And so that was part of the reason why my lectures were popular, say, at Harvard and then at the University of Toronto. And before this explosion of notoriety, there was some movement in that direction. I'd posted my Maps of Meaning lectures online at the TV station in Toronto. I'd done a 13-part series on the Maps of Meaning course because of the somewhat remarkable student response to the course. Because the typical response to student evaluations, the typical comment was, this course changed the way I look at everything. And people meant that. They would say, well, now that I've taken this course, I can't talk to people anymore because I'm looking at things so differently that it's made conversations much more complicated. And so that had elicited some interest by a particular producer, Woodard Shepard, who was the person who produced that series. So that was starting, but then I got tangled up in this political battleground. And then the other part of it too is that it's not just that I got tangled up. It's also that I don't believe that the good is served by discourse that presumes that immutable group identity is the appropriate level of profound analysis. I really don't agree with that. I think it's very dangerous. I think that the right level of analysis is the individual. And so I really am an enemy of the group-centered ideologues, the identity politics types. They don't like me, and they're right not to, because I don't agree with what they're doing, like way down at the bottom of things. And that's also part of what accounts for the vitriolic nature and continual nature of the attacks. You know, that all culminated in this Captain Marvel episode, right? Which is so surreal that it just defies Captain America. It just defies comprehension.